think a really important thing to remember in this industry, and if you run businesses yourself, is to just sometimes just give yourself a break. To be honest, yeah, cut yourself some slack. This industry can be pretty ruthless. It's hard work. If you run a business, it's full on, and you can have a tendency, certainly myself, I've been there probably half a dozen times in the time I've been running this business, from on my own to where we are now, where you think, oh, you know what, you think you're just treading water, it's plate spinning, everything isn't quite going quite how you want it to, and that's really difficult sometimes, and juggling that and just sort of constantly thinking maybe you're not doing well enough, or you just can't quite keep up, I think is just always going to be the case, especially in the world that we live in now. The way that everyone obviously is contactable all the time, even if you don't really want to be. You'll always have that one eye on the phone, even if you're trying to ignore your calls or you're away. It's just inevitable. It's the way that business running is. And yeah, it's so quick now. Everything has to be so instant. You'll get customer calls all the time saying, oh, can you come tomorrow? Can you come today? Have you done my email yet? Have you my certificate? Or have you done this and that and all this sort of stuff? And it's just pretty much constant. So it's very, very easy to fall into that trap of, I'm falling behind, I'm not doing well enough. I've been there many, many times, and it still happens as well. Mostly because when I started off on my own, it's so easy to keep on top of things. It was, you can sort of steadily flow along. You're very reactive to call outs, your quotes and invoices are done like instantly, everything's very quick. But as time has gone on and we've got busier and busier, it gets very, very difficult to keep up and maintain that level of standard. We try really, really hard, and as a team we work together really well on that. And given that the quantity of customers that we've had is times by God knows how many, we do very, very well. But I can't seem to stop holding myself to the standard that I did originally. So I've always found it frustrating that I can't keep up and I'm not quite doing this as quick, and my certificates don't go out as quickly as they used to, and our quotes take a little bit longer than they used to. So yeah, it's very, very difficult, and I've beaten myself up many times about it, and it was particularly difficult when I had kids as well, because that's like a whole nother level on top of it. You're trying to juggle that, you're trying to juggle a business, and you're trying to put your maximum effort into both, and that's impossible. So I'd be constantly thinking, oh, I'm not giving enough attention to this, or I'm not giving enough attention to them. It's very, very hard to beat yourself up about it, and it's not a great place to be. You just want to, sometimes it's just, from now I'd say just recommend give yourself a break. It's not always going to be perfect, as long as you're doing your best. And to be honest, likelihood is, if it's bothering you that much, it means that you care a lot about it, so that's probably good enough. If you're trying your best, you're putting the most effort in that you can. You have to accept sometimes that jobs may not go as well as you want it to, but you can always recover it, and you might miss a quote, or you might accidentally not get to call someone back, and all this sort of stuff. It's going to happen. But I think if you just accept it, and accept that sometimes it's not always going to be perfect, but you are putting in the maximum effort, you're trying your best and things like that, I think that's all you can do. But I think it just needs to be said, because I probably should watch this video again myself in 6 months' time when this may occur again. But I think it just needs to be said that sometimes it's not always going to be perfect. It is just good to give yourself a break every so often and think, what, I am doing my best, and that's good enough. The customer expectation will always be there. And it's very easy to get wrapped up in that sort of, that you're not quite doing what the customer is expecting. But I think the expectation is just very high now. So I think, all in all, yeah, just cut yourself some slack, give yourself a break, and just you're doing good. It's one of those sort of motivational videos, I guess. But I think it's just something that always needs to be said, because I've certainly been here myself.